Okay, so it's January 6th. It's Christmas Eve for Ukrainian Christmas. Yay! And we're at the courthouse, Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. Apparently last night, I don't know, there was cops all over the neighborhood. The kids were saying, Mom, did you go out and see what was going on last night? And I'm like, no, I seen the flashing lights go by, but I was kind of busy doing some canning, so I just let it slide. Apparently they were all up in the street. They had the street all on lockdown, cops running around with their dogs, and I missed all the action last night. Well, anyway, we're at the courthouse today, and everything's been put off until January 30th because one lawyer is sick, and there's some sort of a raunchy cold going around. And but what's happening here is a new social worker has been appointed to the file. An experienced, well-seasoned woman that at one point had an illness and survived. So for me, you know, it brings an appreciation for life. So I think that's where everybody's at right now. I'm going to call this video, obviously, you know, court date 13, right? Because I think it's the 13th court that we've been here already. But, you know, everybody's got to take some responsibility at some point. You know, I mean, obviously more than others, right? And, you know, you learn from your mistakes. And, you know, I'm going to continue working on my nonprofit because, you know, there's definitely some gaps in there that I don't think the federal government and provincial government is filling. And, you know, I always say that the people themselves have to start filling in the gaps too, right? So again, you know, people have to take responsibility for the things that go on in our community. So that would be the perfect example. If more people came in on a community level to start dealing with the community issues, maybe we wouldn't have some of the problems that we experience as individual families and individual people, and our children falling through the cracks, right? So we got to take this last year and we got to build on it and make it more of a positive experience and a learning lesson, right? I'm not too sure what's going to happen here. I'm just trying to be neutral on it. I'm trying to open myself up and just kind of go with the flow. Like I said, there, you know, everybody needs to take a little bit of responsibility, including the Minister of Children and Family Development herself. You know, she needs to dig deep into her pocket and pull out a little bit more of that, you know, funny money and start, you know, spreading the wealth around and making it better for the families, making it better for the workers, you know, making it better for the court system. You know, she's in a position of power. You know, she can get in there and she can stir up a few nests here and a few nests there. And if more of us came together and just started to think about the kids, like really think about the kids as a collective, I'm sure there's more that we can do for the kids as a collective. How that transcends down to my grandson, well, you know, I'm not, you know, we're not there yet. You know, we've got a long way to go before a community comes together to think about the kids, to work for the kids. So right now I'm feeling okay about what's going on. I mean, obviously I don't want to prolong it any longer than it has to be, but there is open communication. And, you know, I'm proud of my girls and I'm proud of my son. I'm really, really proud of my kids. You know, they've been through a lot, and, you know, they've shown that, you know, they're survivors, and, you know, they don't get derailed from the good, honest aspects of their character, right? I thank the nonprofit for building good character in my children. You know, it's definitely confirmed that, you know, all the years that I've done with the nonprofit has definitely made a difference in my children's lives because, you know, they're troopers. And once Andre comes home, because he will come home, think positive, he is coming home. Any little gaps that he has in there because of the separation and all the things that come with that, you know, those things will get, you know, you know, he'll learn how to play the piano. And, you know, I'm a homeschool mom, so, you know, he'll get lots of educational play, and he's got his aunties and, you know, and his little friends, and, you know, we'll be doing events, and, you know, all this will be behind us, but what won't be behind us will be the experience to make it better for the next generation, right? You got to make it better for the next generation. No matter what happens, you always got to build in those pillars to make it better for the next generation. So let's just keep Andre in our prayers and believe that he's coming home. And so, yeah, we'll be back. Isn't that amazing? I have hummingbirds. I got a hummingbird. Look at that. That is amazing. Oh, I got a hummingbird, people. I have blue jays coming to my house, and now I got a hummingbird. Isn't that amazing? Oh my God. I've never, ever seen a hummingbird. This is the first time I've ever seen a hummingbird. Yep. I've seen them on pictures and videos, but I've never had one come to my house.
No, I don't think I ever seen that.
No?
No,
I made it some solution. As you can see, it's a happy little hummingbird now. Oh, I'm just dashing around. Cool. Okay, people. Wasn't that just the coolest little thing? Got a little hummingbird. Oh, I've never seen a hummingbird in my whole life. That's the first time. Well, actually, I seen it the other day. It came by, and I didn't have any of that solution for it, right? The sugar water. But they burn off a lot of energy, apparently. So now that I know that I have hummingbirds, I'll make sure that they have the sugar syrup for feeding, because they require a lot of energy just to keep going at what they do as hummingbirds. But I have blue jays, and I get robins in the front in the spring and the summer, and I get all these little different kind of chickadees, and I think there was a woodpecker one time way out in the back over here. Squirrel runs around. There was a skunk on my porch last night. Like, oh. Anyway, so Friday I'm going to have some people, you know, social worker come to my house, and we're going to talk shop here and, you know, discuss our options. So, you know, the priority is Andre. That's, you know, that is the priority. What's in the best interest of Andre? And the best thing for Andre is for Andre to come home. So what I'm going to do for the next couple days is I'm going to clear out some of the congestion in my little garage. I have this great big debate with my kids, right? Oh, well, you know, Mom, you know, the place is big. And I'm like, yeah, maybe for you as a kid, but not for me as an adult. You know, you have to remember at one point there was 9 people living in this house. There's still like 7, I think. You know, so, you know, and you know, I'm a homeschool mom, and I still got my costumes sitting up over there. I should probably contact the lady that was thinking about doing some consignment, but I've been kind of busy on that, right? And, of course, nonprofit takes up a lot of my, you know, space, because paper and more paper, and you know, tambourines, and you know, musical equipment and crafts and stuff like that. You know, it all starts to kind of take up space. Canopies and tables and, you know, cups and that kind of stuff, and coolers, and you know, things that, you know, my kids don't think, well, gee, when we get to the park and we do a park event, all this stuff just kind of materializes out of nowhere, right? Well, yeah, it came from this corner, and it came from that corner, and I buried it over there, and, you know, I can only afford so much. And yes, in the past I've had things in storage, but, you know, you're paying out almost $100 a month in storage. That's $1,200 a year that could be going on a bill. So, you know, depending on my financial situation and what's going on at the time, you know, I may or may not be able to afford storage. At this point in life, I really can't afford storage. So, you know, things have been just kind of sitting around the house. So what I'm going to do anyway for the next couple of days is I'm going to clear out some of this stuff here in this area. I got a deep freeze, a small one that rings, and I've got this ringing in my ear now. So I'm going to, you know, I've been wanting to move this out of here anyway because of this ringing. It has a high-pitched ring to it. I'm very sensitive to it. And so I'm going to move this out, and then I'm going to move some of my books and put it in the corner there and clear off the table, because when Andre gets home, you know, we're going to do lots of crafts and lots of homeschooling, and, you know, it's going to be lots of fun, right? Finger painting and Play-Doh, and, you know, and building things and learning ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and that kind of stuff. And so, you seen the hummingbird? That is so cool. So cool. One day I'm going to set my camera up over there, and I'm just going to keep it there, and I'm not going to move it for hours, and we're going to see what flies by. Because I get blue jays out there, I get all kinds of birds out there. It's really quite amazing. So we'll talk to you soon. All right.